This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network. And joining me right now is Brent Charleton. He is the president and CEO of EnWave Corporation. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is ENW on the TSX Venture. And you can actually see EnWave present at our upcoming event, the SNN Network Canada Virtual Event, which is taking place January 6th and 7th. Be sure to register at canada.snn.network to go and see EnWave's presentation. And with that, Brent, good to see you and Happy New Year.
You too. Happy New Year.
Very good. Well, thanks again for joining us today. We actually had you on, or we published our last interview together back in May 22nd or earlier in 2020. So love to get kind of an update. What's been going on in the last 6 months? Catch us up.
Sure. Happy to do so. I mean, a lot's changed over the past few months in terms of economic circumstances, both domestically and globally, which has certainly helped our business alongside with some new and innovative strategies that we've implemented for both the machine technology company, which we'll refer to as EnWave, and also our subsidiary company, NutraDried, which leverages our intellectual property to produce a dried cheese snack down in the United States. So last time we spoke, we were having somewhat of a difficulty in terms of completing installations of our dehydration machinery in a global context. And we had developed a remote installation program, which then allowed us to complete several small scale installations for use by several cannabis and food manufacturers. They now turned on those machines and started to generate royalties for our company. And further to that, we've also committed to completing the startup of 2 large scale machines, which should take place this month, one in Costa Rica and one in Peru. So as we navigated the challenges presented by the current pandemic, our personnel devised certain protocols where they felt comfortable traveling abroad to complete the work that we needed to get done. So right now we're in a position where it's business as usual, as usual as it can be, which is quite exciting. And so along with that strategy to complete installations, our pipeline's also grown tremendously. So just in Q1, which we have a September 30th fiscal year end, we've already confirmed 2 large-scale purchase orders and a handful of small-scale orders. We're well ahead of the pace that we had the prior year, and we're hopefully on track to be generating positive cash flows for both businesses, the machine sales and also NutraDried in 2021.
So I also have to ask, now we're doing this on January 4th, 2021. So we're in the new year already, but and you've talked about this a little bit already, as well as in our last interview, but love to get kind of a year in review. How would you assess the year has gone for EnWave? And did you meet some of those goals, COVID notwithstanding, that you were hoping to achieve?
So from an adaptation and execution standpoint, yeah, I think that our team performed well. When we were hit with the initial challenge of COVID, we immediately reduced our expenses dramatically by approximately 30%. And that helped us control our balance sheet. And when the tide started to turn and more business was available to pursue, we're not going to add those expenses back into the business, which sets us up ourselves well for increased margins on a go-forward basis. In fact, in fiscal 2020, we increased our gross margin percentage by 24%, tied to obviously lower fixed costs and the execution of those installations through that innovative remote program that we had developed. So on a revenue side, on top line basis, the EnWave parent company actually performed its second best year in history with 9.9 million. And then we add in the NutraDried performance, which was in the range of the low 20s millions, adding to our performance this past year. So considering the challenges we faced, I thought we did well, but we're far more optimistic about the future in 21 and again, reaching that positive cash flow scenario.
Very good. Well, that's a perfect segue. From what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's value catalysts now or some of your goals and value catalysts for 2021?
So let's first talk about NutraDried. For them, it's winning significant increases in retail grocery distribution for their Moon Cheese snack product, as well as the introduction of new products into their portfolio, some snack mixes in different formats, which I think will compete very well against the other products within their category. Further to that, we're hoping that they can build upon past successes with in the club channel, specifically with Costco, that's going to dictate the level of success that NutraDried will have in the forthcoming year. On the EnWave side, for the machine sales and licensing royalty part of our business, we actually just announced a significant breakthrough in the processing protocols implemented in our patented machinery to dry cannabis in a way that can retain a higher terpene level overall than traditional rack or room dry. Prior to that announcement, there was apprehension through the utilization of our technology in that space. But now that we have third-party certificates of analysis proving that, yes, we can produce a superior product that allows us to go out with the right weaponry to close further deals, not only in Canada, but in the United States and abroad, to further commercialize our vacuum microwave technology in that industry. And on the food side, there's some pretty meaningful companies that are already using our small scale machines to bring products to market, including PepsiCo, Calbee in Japan, Arla Foods, a large dairy company in Europe, amongst many others. We've got over 40 royalty-bearing commercial licensees now that are all looking to prospectively upscale their capacity for manufacturing this year. So we'll do what we can to support those projects, and if successful, I think we're in a very strong state to turn the corner in this business and hopefully reach profitability.
Very good. Well, with that, where can my audience go and find everything they need to know to follow along the EnWave story?
EnWave.net is a good place to start. That's ENW.V.net. That's our website. But of course, our management team is readily accessible to answer questions to our shareholders. So I would encourage them, if you have a question, to ask. We're happy to answer.
Very good. Well, Brent, thank you so much for joining me today. Good luck, stay safe, and I look forward to our next update.
Thanks so much.